This episode of the Gamer Dads podcast is sponsored by funstock.co.uk. Get yourself 10% off everything in store now by using promo code GAMERDAD at the till. The Gamer Dads Network is also proud to be associated with children's accessible gaming charity Special Effect. For more information or to make a donation, please go to specialeffect.org.uk. Let's play a game of That Biscuit! Nom, nom, nom.
I hope it's a fat-free one.
Yeah, so do I.
Oh, no. No. I am breaking my slimming world. I don't care. Oh, no, 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 no.
Nobody eats like that.
Never mind.
Give up?
No, I just don't care.
Custard cream.
Nope.
Then I don't know.
The survey said...
Our survey said...
It was a Maryland chunky cookie.
My second guess was cookie, but I wouldn't have been specific enough to say Maryland.
Those really chunky ones with the big massive chocolate chips in it. Oh,
You're a what? Chunky?
Funky chunky almonds. Already big.
Already chunky.
I like it big.
Oh, here we go. The podcast is back.
Hello, and welcome to the Gamer Dads podcast. Now, to start us off, we need to hand you over to our lame podcast host. Some say that he is such a Microsoft fanboy he'll only wear the colour green, and that his beard is actually made up from his arse hair. All we know is he's called Move It.
Hello.
Oh, shit.
That was being the Move It. I thought apparently the Move It can't speak, so that would have been a shortened podcast, wouldn't it? Hello, dear listeners. Move It here, friendly media manager. For gamerdadsUK, you know all the rest. And with me is Jeremy Clarkson, otherwise known as Joey P.
Hello.
Hello.
In the world.
So that must make Toby the old man with a spanner. That is James May.
You could at least said Hammond. At least he's from the Midlands, for fuck's sake.
I suppose I could do, yeah, but then you kind of be
I am right about
smash dragsters.
4 feet taller than him, too.
Okay, you be Hammond then.
Okay.
So
Hello.
is a sparrow.
Which would make me, James May, who we all know is the coolest. So
To be fair, that's probably quite a good analogy, because James May's one of the biggest, like the nerdiest one, really.
Yeah.
yeah. Stuck in the past. All the
Yeah.
dates.
Floral shirts.
Yeah, that's me all over, actually. That's a good analogy. We need to send some photos of us so we can get a little picture for this week's body. CGR faces over the top.
Oh, man.
Needs to be done.
I've got me
Yeah.
sat on Dr. Robotnik's wrecking ball last week, so
That was quality.
That was
really
fucking.
good.
That was brilliant.
well, thank you.
Who did you get to do it?
Hey! How very dare you!
I just clearly spoke to somebody in the office. You really good at Photoshop. Just quickly knock this up for him. Poor unsuspecting intern going, what the fuck?
Shh, don't tell them.
Give away your
Part
seat.
of your professional development, that's what they tend to do in workplaces, isn't it? It's something you can't be asked to do yourself.
Yeah, basically.
Your professional
Would you-
development? Yeah, right.
Would you
Something
rather
for
make
the
tea,
portfolio.
or would you rather Photoshop my head onto a
Miley
scene of
Cyrus's
Sonic?
body.
Oh god.
It was very well done. Hats off to
Thank
whoever
you very
made that.
much. I couldn't quite get the skin tone to match exactly, just with the limited that I had on this app that I was using, but
Really didn't matter.
it didn't matter 'cause it looked awesome. I was sitting on Dr. Robotnik's wrecking ball. Oh, lifelong dream. So almost gone full circle, so my gaming career properly started off like hardcore with Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on the Mega Drive. So there you go. It's almost gone full circle. Yeah, getting on with it really. We have got quite a good show lined up for you. A lot of talking crap because that seems to be how we prefer to be.
Because that's what we do.
That's all we can do.
As usual, we've got some brewskis in our hand. I am today sporting a Badger first like Golden Champion, which is a rather nice tasting thing actually. Where have we got? A golden copper colour with a floral, subtle tangerine smell, and a crispy, fruity hint of elderflower on the taste buds, as it were. Joey P, on the other hand, is drinking Joe's, I think.
I'm drinking an apple and blackcurrant cordial, but I'm currently sporting a cup of tea. 3 sugars white.
3 sugars? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I know.
Wow!
3 sugars is the standard.
And did you make that cup of tea yourself then, Joey?
No, my dear wife to be did.
Gertrude.
Gertrude, yes. But we can't name her names for her reasons.
Gertie P. Making the tea for Joe.
Gertie P. Making
I took a slurp, it nearly went over the laptop.
What about the tea? So, yeah, dear listeners, those of you who are relatively new to the podcast, all 100 of you, we've got to get our viewership back up. But you newbies out there, stay to the end. Once we said goodbye and there's the outro music, there's a little hidden, like you used to do on CDs. If you know what CDs are, ask your granddad.
I think everybody knows what
them?
CDs are because they're still available in the shops. But
My
only just though, really.
My daughter doesn't really know what CDs are when it comes to music, which depresses me greatly.
no, mine fucking does.
Oh man,
3 CDs of One Direction later.
Don't get me started. They just like it because their mates like it, and the mates like it because they don't know why they like them.
That's it.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of One Direction. Because name me 3 of their songs. Yeah, exactly.
Didn't you smack one of them in the face with a camera?
Me?
Yes.
No, for legal reasons. I did not come across one of them in a press release. How very dare you? Yes.
So which one of them's gay?
I don't. None of them will sleep with me. Who's?
Not for the lack of trying.
Well, you know, I need some money to sell my story to the Sun. You know. Anyway, before we get off kilter, Toby, what are you drinking? Anything?
I have 2 liquids currently in front of me. One is Pepsi. Other cola varieties are available, but I have chosen Pepsi this evening because it's £1 in Asda for a 2-litre bottle.
I know, how crazy is that?
What?
It's just constantly £1 all the time.
Oh no, yeah, it's like not even on sale.
It's not just special offer. It's just like we're just going to give you for £1.
Like,
do you want Coke? That's £2.30.
Yeah, I'm not going to go to the little kiosk and pay like 89p for 500ml bottle. I'll get 2 litres for £1.
Yeah,
so yeah, that's my standard. That'll probably be gone by the time we finished. And I've also got another liquid, which is in my e-cig, and I'm going to brag about this because I've actually gone 9 days now without smoking properly.
Woo!
I've gone on to this vaping stuff, like these e-cigs, this e-liquid shit.
I know. I know a few people at work have started on these.
It was 20 quid for a starter kit, which I bought like best part of 2 weeks ago now, and I got like a little tub of liquid in that, which is just a hint of strawberry, which actually tastes quite nice, and I've not even used half of it yet, so I'm doing well. But I pretty much constantly have this thing close to hand because quitting smoking has not been the easiest thing in the world, I'll tell you. Although I'm still getting the nicotine from these things, it's the actual habit of smoking a normal cigarette is quite a difficult one to break.
Yes.
So, but I'm doing well. I haven't felt the need to go around to the shop and buy normal cigarettes since I started on this, which is good.
Good man.
I'm quite proud of myself because anybody that used to know me knows that. Or anybody used to know me? Anybody that does know me knows.
They don't know me anymore since I quit smoking.
When I did smoke a lot, especially like when playing the computer or out and about. I smoked quite a bit, so I'm quite proud of myself. So if you are looking at quitting, then I'd highly recommend trying these e-cig things, because they're pretty good. The ones with the liquid in, not the ones that look like cigarettes. They're a bit shit. But these vaping ones, they're pretty good.
They've started making them ones that actually look like cigarettes, like really sort of quite trendy and attractive. It almost seems like strange that people almost want to start smoking electronic cigarettes even before they've actually smoked normal ones.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It is very strange. I think like with all the different flavours and stuff that are available, I've got like two here. I've got a strawberry one and a blackcurrant one, and the blackcurrant one tastes like sweets, which it's pretty cool.
Weird.
Yeah, it is very, very strange. It is very strange. It's like to jump.
Does it even taste of tobacco at all, though?
No, nothing like it. You get what they'd call like a throat hit, so it'd be a similar sensation to if you were having a pull on a cigarette, but it's more flavour. It's just flavour. That's all it is. It's very bizarre.
It's like
very
a
bizarre.
hooch of cigarettes or something, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think the deal I saw was like you could get 3 of these liquids for £10, and that's basically 1 packet of cigarettes. But these got three bottles of this liquid will probably last you the best part of a month. So
not too bad,
it's certainly saving me a hell of a lot of cash.
Well, which are you saving up to buy an Xbox One?
Oh, don't even get me started on that. Just don't get me started on that.
Oh, right. You have 2 minutes of uninterrupted airtime to talk about your hunt for an Xbox One, starting from now!
Right, for a start, it's not even a hunt for an Xbox One. Lots of people keep telling me, oh, they're only so much money and you can get it from here and you can get it from there. And I know everywhere's got it in stock and there are some fantastic deals out there at the moment. I think the cheapest I saw it was for $350 from a place.
Yeah.
It's really good deal. If you've got the fucking cash. I don't have £350, £400 lying around to splash out on an Xbox One. So it's quite annoying when people are going, oh, they're only so much from here. So, oh, yeah, that's great. Just chuck me the cash and I'll go out and buy one then. Fucking hell. I've got other things to pay for at the moment. Yes, I'm really happy that the price has come down and it's made it available for lots of other people. But at this current time, I just still can't afford one, which is pissing me off even more. I'm getting to the point now where I'm like, what can I sell? What can I eBay to raise cash? And
you don't need both your kidneys, do you?
well, that's it. But I think that the thing that's stopping me as well is I know I could go into game and trade in my 360 and all the rest of it, and all the games and whatnot, and I'd probably have enough cash to put on top of the trading value. But I don't want to get rid of my 360. There's still a lot of life left in the 360 at the moment. I've got no reason to trade. I've got 100 games still that I haven't played or haven't finished. I'm still getting 2 free games a month from the games with gold stuff. So I've got really no reason to trade at the moment. I don't want to get rid of it, I should say. I've got reasons to upgrade and get the Xbox One, but trading in the 360 I don't think would be worth it for me right now. So yes, frustrating, but such is life, eh? Not gonna skimp myself out.
That is 2 minutes. Boom. There you go.
But there's now a lot of talk of what are the people that got it nice and early but paid quite a lot of money for the Xbox One. What are they going to get? Are they going to get anything? Do you think they'll actually go out of their way to give us anything?
No, and I don't really think they should. I think that's the risk you take as an early adopter. Prices are always going to come down with everything. You wouldn't go out and buy a brand spanking new car and then a year later go back and say, oh, you've dropped the price on them now. I want fucking money back. That's not the way consumer market works. And I think if you do,
there have been incidents though of that happening though. And there's the same. Everyone's sort of screaming about free games on the one, because there's a few little ones for the PS4 as far as I'm aware.
Uh-huh.
And so there's obviously public outcry of where's the Xbox One free stuff? I want it. I bought it and I bought it for nearly £500 and now it's 400 with a free game. But
I see a point.
I see the point in it, but it's the consumer market. I just don't. You compare it to any other product, and you're never going to go back and bitch about the price getting lowered. Yeah, it was fairly quick for it to drop. I'll grant you that. But then saying, oh, when I bought it, I didn't get a free game. Well, actually, pretty much everybody who bought it day one got a free game with it, be it FIFA or Forza. So yes, they did get a new game with it. Free game kind of side of things. Well, one, they can't really do the games with gold thing because there's no games, available on the Xbox One that they could do it with at the moment. And for those who aren't technically minded, it's not as simple as just making the 360 library available for the Xbox One. They're made for a completely different system. They can't just port them over without going back and remaking them from scratch. Some of the developers aren't even in existence anymore, so that's just not going to happen.
Well, here's an
Certainly won't happen
interesting
for a
thought.
very long time.
I heard a bit of speculation, and I know we shouldn't really go along speculation, but it's interesting.
Yeah, we're fanboys. Go on.
Yeah, that they would consider bringing out newer games for the games for gold if they didn't give them away, but they more sort of loaned them for a month or so.
Yeah, similar to because the difference between the PlayStation Plus and games with gold is PlayStation Plus are basically yours as long as you keep paying your subscription for PlayStation Plus. Games with gold, you can literally pay for 1 month, download your 2 free games, and then not pay for it again, but you've still got access to those 2 games.
Yeah.
Whereas PS Plus, if you don't pay, the following month you no longer have access to those games that you've downloaded. So yeah, they are. Whereas PlayStation are essentially like giving you the license to play them, Xbox are giving you them as a physical thing almost. They are yours.
The PlayStation Plus is almost like a love film type thing, isn't it? As long as
Yeah,
you pay it, you can have it for as long as you like. You stop
probably
paying
quite
it,
a
you
good
don't get
analogy,
it.
yeah.
There's definite bonuses for both. I mean, you're on about any other consumerism thing with the price going down. I'm not sure if you're aware about the situation with the 3DS for Nintendo.
Well, I was about to ask you because I'm pretty sure that you had something about this.
I did, yes. I'm a ambassador on the 3DS just because I'm day one purchaser, and I bought the 3DS on day one, and it went down after about 4 months, maybe. It went down in price to, basically by a similar percentage to what the Xbox One has done. Now, whether it stays at that price, the Xbox One, I don't know. I got a hunch that they brought it down because of Titanfall, and just to bring it in line with the PlayStation, say it's better value because you get Titanfall and you get Kinect, whereas you don't on the PlayStation. Blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah. But both systems are great. Whatever. But the 3DS it was ridiculously expensive for what it was, to be fair. But early adopter and all that, bought it. It went down in price, and almost as an apology to the day one people is if you went on Nintendo's online shop just to view it, it kind of registers you as like an IP, if you will. They know when you're on between certain dates. They sent you a load of games, so I got 23 games.
Yes.
For the price going down. 10 of them were SNES games, 10 of them were NES games. Now, a lot of people were moaning saying, oh, well, that's not a new game, but there were 23 games. So...
And that was a direct apology for bringing the price down so quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and this is what I mean. That could have almost set a very dangerous precedent, and might well have sort of set everybody off in a bit of a frenzy, saying well, it's only sort of 4 months or so after release. Why can't you give the people that went out of their way and paid the extra for it? Yes, the day one people did get a free game. I got it a week and a half later, and I didn't.
Yeah, same.
I was only a week and a half after launch. The phase 2 models, and I didn't get a free game. I got Killer Instinct for free because I had to send my Kinect sensor back because it wasn't working.
Yeah.
And that's all I got. In fact, they even offered me something that you can download for free off the Xbox One store anyway, which I found was a bit strange.
Yeah, that was a bit cheeky.
Yes, but I mean, I don't know whether they should. I mean, I'd certainly gratefully accept something free. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but I just think that, like you say, I'm sure that there was that situation with Nintendo, and I wouldn't sort of hasten to say that that's the only situation that that's happened in. So
No, it's happened on a few consoles in the past. The Wii did something similar, but it was only in certain territories. Yeah, okay. On the flip side of that, like Toby says, there's not really much to download on the Xbox Marketplace for Xbox One at the moment. Not in the same way as the 360 and the PlayStation 3 and even the PlayStation 4. But just something, just as a goodwill gesture. Like they basically give away Killer Instinct for free to most people anyway.
yeah,
Just as a matter of course. So maybe just give people that, just something, just to say, or maybe 10 quid's worth of points in the Xbox store, and then you can just hold on to them and buy whatever you want later on.
yeah.
Just
See,
something.
one thing I'm finding strange with this generation, and I don't know whether this is something that's shared, but I'm quite glad that the pricing point for all the different games has been fairly different. Now, if you're not entirely sure what I'm on about, let me explain. Disregarding what exactly happens on the Xbox One store, because Titanfall to download straight into Xbox One is still £55, and you can pick it up for 41 quid, in some places for the physical copy. But like I say, when when all the launch games and that, regardless of day ones and that, most of them were about £45-50. Now you see Titanfall come out and it's averaging probably about 40 quid. Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, which is this is a prologue version of the new Metal Gear Solid game, Phantom Pain, that's going to be coming out next year, allegedly. That's a much shorter game, and it's priced accordingly as well. It's only around £25. And then you've got obviously the arcadey type games that Halo, Spartan Assault, and Crimson Dragon that I know you've played, which are all about sort of the £12-15 mark. Now, I'm quite happy that they're actually starting to recognise the games in their quantity and quality and being reflected in their price.
Yeah.
Which I think is something that, especially on the 360 and on the PS3, of course, that it was either full retail price or sort of arcade price, and that was it.
Yeah, no, you've got a valid point there.
Yeah, it's almost like the sliding scales coming in. Yeah, agreed. I'm with you on that.
Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare is £35. Now it's not quite the full game, but it's better than an arcade game, but it's still a full game.
Yeah.
But it's £35. It's a complete middle ground that we've never really sort of had before.
No, we haven't. On the side note of that, next podcast I should have a verbal review of that for you on the poddy, so stick around for that. Yeah, I'm with you. Well, we've talked about this before, though, haven't we? Both of us guys, all three of us. I'm obviously retro gamer as well. I like to have the physical copies. I am CDs as well. I won't buy MP3s. I'll buy the CDs, rip them into an MP3, and do it that way. But I can get on board with digital copies if it's a sliding scale, and that's in the sense that the Ouya's been doing in terms of the AAA games that are a bit bigger and a bit better graphics are slightly more expensive. The shorter games are slightly less. The indie games that no one's ever heard of are even less, and maybe even creep up as the popularity goes. It's almost like a stock market of digital games. I can get on board with that. That's fine. It's when the digital copy is more expensive than the physical copy, and I'm thinking, what the fuck?
That's what I don't understand with Titanfall. Like I say, I mean, I looked online last night. I mean, there was limited stock in Tesco's at one point for 37 quid, and that's now gone up to £41.
Yeah.
There are other places like Amazon that are doing it for 42. Game are doing it for £42.99. But on the to download it straight from the Xbox store is £54.99.
Yeah, I really don't. But that's been something concurrent even through 360, and it's still happening on a 360 now.
Yeah.
I think let's take for example Skyrim. I mean that's quite an old game now, in the grand scheme of things. You know, it's over a year old, therefore it's old, kind of thing.
It's almost retro.
Yeah.
You
let's not
take
start
that
him off.
back.
It's on a retro console.
But when that's not on sale,
You take that back too. I kill you. I see
finished?
you.
Are you
Sorry,
finished?
sorry,
Are you
Toby.
finished?
Please
Are you finished?
continue.
Can I continue?
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
please, can I finish?
We're done.
Um,
Sorry about that.
But like, say Skyrim, that was still 50 or 60 quid for a long time, and then it came down a little bit. But I think still now to buy it straight off, it's still over £30. I'm sure it is.
You can pick it up
when it's
like
not
in
on sale. But yeah,
CEX for about 12 quid.
exactly. I think even brand new, you'd only pay 25 quid at most for it now, maybe 20 quid.
And that's with all the DLC.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't get where they're coming from, but it's not just consigned to Microsoft, I don't think. But it seems very, very strange that they're charging more. If they want to go digital, they've got to get realistic, I think, is the thing. And Steam have it down. You know, they really do have it down. You don't pay for unnecessary costs when you're buying games from Steam. You're paying for a code, and that's what it should be. You're not the amount of savings that these companies are making by not putting it onto disc. You know, you've got the actual manufacturing costs, and you've got shipping costs, and you've got packaging and all that. They're saving a ton.
We've had this argument. We had this argument like 2 years ago, where we were saying, people want to be able to download their games. Like you can download films legitimately, of course. You can, obviously download music, and that's been going on for far longer. But people, want to be able to download games. You see a game, it's like, oh, I'll download that. And if you can save yourself a tenner in the process, rather than say going through the manufacturing cost, why not? I might as well have the digital copy. If I enjoy it, I'm not going to want to trade it in. Or some people even just don't trade in at all. But there needs to be that option. It needs to be a competitive price.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people just aren't going to bother. But they can't just keep pushing it and saying, you can download it straight from here. But why should I for an extra £15 when I can have something in my hand? And if it goes wrong, I can take it back.
Yeah, exactly. It's like game now. You go and buy a brand new game for an extra £1. That disc is now insured.
Yes.
And which is that's a fantastic deal,
That
especially in
handy.
households. Yeah, especially in households where you've got kids and stuff like that. You've only got to get one scratch on it.
Yeah.
And you can, if there's any problem, you just take the disc back, hand your receipt over, you get a brand new copy. I think that's a really, really good idea. And still, so you got a physical copy plus insurance, and it's still cheaper than downloading something digitally. They've got a problem. They've got a real problem. It's never going to take off until it's competitive. So PC gamers are going to say, yeah, we don't get physical copies, but most of them admit they don't buy physical copies because they don't have to.
I mean, at one point, because I was really interested in getting Assassin's Creed Black Flag for the Xbox One, and I saw something crop up on Twitter about it being cheap. I thought, okay, I'll have a click on it. And basically what it was, on the PS3, it was half price on their sale. So it was about £25. And then for £10, obviously because it goes into your PlayStation library, and then on the PS4, it obviously recognises you've got it in your library, but you can't play it. And it says for £10 extra, you can upgrade it to the PS4 version, essentially making it £35. Now, everywhere that I saw Assassin's Black Flag for the Xbox One was £55.
Yeah.
And I sort of messaged Xbox a few times. Just wondering if you're doing this deal, any way of sorting this out. No. So that's what I do feel that sort of the way that the PlayStation Store runs is an awful lot better than the way that the Microsoft Store runs.
Yeah. I think Microsoft are testing the waters slowly. Like they keep having these flash sales on the 360. And I think they are really kind of seeing how popular those are and how well they sell. And they have said a few times that they are looking at the digital market and stuff. So it will change, but they're going to have to be pretty drastic, I think, for people to adopt it happily. And also, I mean, until they sort out this hard drive thing and allowing third-party hard drives to be put in, there's really no point in them trying to push the digital download because you simply won't have the space.
Yeah, agreed. I've not. There isn't the latest update on Xbox One allowing external hard drives? I'm sure
No,
it was.
Not yet. It's still. It is coming though. It is coming.
No, the next one is for friend notifications, which is finally back.
Hooray!
Yeah. Hang on a second. Let's
Yeah,
see.
so I downloaded quite a hefty update when I was doing Titanfall.
the April one's just a minor few tweaks.
Yeah.
It was
Game and app saves and updates. You can get progress bars for it. Blu-ray 50 Hz video output. Connect voice and motion improvements. Improved game DVR video quality. Updates to the device management and new audio settings, which is handy actually because I quite like to say Xbox volume up, but it only goes up like 3 little bars on my TV that goes up to 100, and it's now going to alter that so you can actually set how much it moves up and down, which is quite nice. You know, and these are all improvements that they've listened to the community and they've actually said, right, you know, we need these now. The friends notifications obviously is the most obvious one. So yeah, you know, they're actually seeming to listen and actually do stuff about it.
The cynic inside me says the hard drive issue is being delayed for a reason.
What would that reason be?
I'm wondering that.
The reason I think is possibly a first party hard drive.
Yes.
Yeah. Possibly. I don't know.
See,
but
that
there
really...
must be, because they've been saying that third party hard drives will be enabled, you know, at some point. They've said that since before the release. They've never hid away from it. They always said that it wouldn't be available at launch, but it will be coming. It will definitely come, but I don't know why the delay is on that. Whether it's just because it's not needed now or not, I don't know. But
well, if they were going to do it a first party external hard drive, why didn't they just bump up the storage in the Xbox One as it is?
It's all about cost. To have,
but surely it wouldn't cost that much between sort of 500 gig and a terabyte.
You'd be surprised.
It tends to work.
Not individually, but multiply that by millions, and the cost of the console would probably jump from 430 to 450 or something.
Yeah,
you know, it's
keeping competitive against its main competitor being the PlayStation, I think.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they should have done that. But
No,
I'm saying
I know what you mean. Yeah.
If Toby's theory is correct, that they are lining up at a, you know, sort of like relatively soon after launch external hard drive, then that decision becomes a little bit okay.
I think it makes it look to some consumers that they're admitting that the one already in there is too small and therefore it's inferior, which isn't the case. But you know,
no, it's not. I mean, 500 gig is a lot. You know, that's a big chunk of space you've got there.
So I've got Battlefield saved on there. I've got FIFA on it. I've got all the updates for Battlefield and everything like that. I've got Assassin's Creed on there and something else, and I've still got like 290 gig.
Yeah, you know, it's not required. You don't need external hard drives yet. I mean, I've seen some pictures floating around on Twitter and stuff saying their hard drives at like 80% full, and they're like, "Oh, this is ridiculous." But that's because they've fully installed every game they've got. They've downloaded everything off the marketplace. You know, yeah, obviously it's going to fill up if you're downloading and installing fucking everything. But at the same time, I think a lot of people are forgetting you've got unlimited cloud storage as well for certain things.
Yeah.
So you know, like your game saves, whack them on the cloud. If you're worried about storage that much, stick a lot of the shit that you've got on the cloud, and that will save you some space. But I don't know. It's tricky one. It's strange that it was only 500 gig when, you know, the standard really now is a terabyte for most stuff. But yeah, the third party stuff will come, or the third party support will come. They've said it will. They said the audio adapters would come for headsets. They've just come out now. You know, they are listening to the community, and fair play to them. They really are listening. They're always addressing the concerns and all the rest of it. So
yeah.
I'm waiting for a decent wireless chat headset.
It won't be long now. It won't be long. Now that Turtle Beach have started releasing their official, you know, Xbox One headsets, it won't be long before the others jump on board and they turn it to wireless and everything else. I think was it the last day, the last update, they did something with the sound. Was it the IR blaster at the back or something like that? No, the optical input, wasn't it? They did something with that in an update, and I think that's going to allow some wireless capabilities and stuff like that. So they'll come. Don't worry too much.
Yeah, agreed.
One thing that won't be coming though, just quickly, is any more Xbox presentations from Mark Whitten, as he's leaving Microsoft. He helped launch the original Xbox, the Xbox 360, Xbox One, and helped launch Xbox Live. So we won't be seeing him at E3, which will be weird. But we can live with that.
I think they've had a bit of a shift up in staff altogether really recently, haven't they?
Yeah, so I mean, they let Peter Moore go a few weeks ago, a few years ago, sorry, and he sort of went off to EA and did his thing. So all that needs to happen now is Nintendo need to lose Reggie Fils-Aimé, and which is fucking an awesome name.
Good old Reggie. Bless him.
Wrong with Reggie.
Bless his heart.
Reggie's awesome, but he's so out of touch with reality, isn't he?
Oh, he's a caricature, isn't he? I mean, good lord.
Yeah, he really is. He's, what can you say?
Yeah.
Maybe it's that time. Maybe it's just that time in people's lives. They're just getting to a certain age, and they're just like, right, time to move on to pastures new. Who knows?
Perhaps.
They've gone as far as they can in their chosen career. At the end of the day, it's just a job for them. Might be in the public eye, but they're going to want career prospects and stuff. If they've got as high as they can with a certain department, they're going to want to move on.
Yeah, he's moving on to Sonos. So he's going to be around, but he just won't be with Microsoft. Obviously, he loved his time there and everything, but yeah.
Oh, they always say that. Obviously, they got him so it looks good when they move to the next job.
I think it's good. I think it's good that Microsoft's having a bit of a shake-up, though. I mean, they've made some questionable decisions in the past year or so. Not just on the console front, but on the Windows 8 front and stuff. I think it's good that they're kind of getting to where they want to be, but they obviously need some new blood in to drive them, past this hump that they're kind of seeing themselves in, or saw themselves in a few months ago. I mean, I don't care who you work for. After E3 last year, when the console was announced, I bet some heads were rolling left, right, and centre after that. And the same with Windows 8. There's some things have gone seriously wrong, and they're addressing them quickly, but in reality, most of these problems probably shouldn't have happened.
Well, I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff going wrong with Xbox Live at the minute as well. It seems to be snowballing a little bit. There's constantly being following the Xbox support guys on Twitter, constantly giving updates. If you're having trouble, especially now that Titanfall's here. Xbox One sales are up 96% according to some people. There's been a lot more people online, and I don't think it's been handled very well, which is a shame because obviously we had the Battlefield issues. Which Battlefield issues are Battlefield issues, but unfortunately it does have an effect on the home servers as well, on Xbox Live and on the PlayStation Network. And obviously now with Titanfall, it just seems to be that the problems that Xbox Live were starting to have with trying to run the two systems seem to be slightly exacerbated, which is a shame because Xbox Live was always such a reliable,
it was back,
interface.
Yeah. So Sony's just trouncing them, I think, at the moment online. They've learned the lessons from the last console, in my humble opinion.
Do you think some complacency's kind of kicked in a little bit?
Yeah, agreed. Because the thing is, the
Possibly.
360, right? And this is not fanboy talking. This is just facts. The 360 online experience, they had it down, and it's just smooth and it's lovely, and the French thing works better than Sony's did. The Xbox Live. Personally, I preferred the interface for that than I did on the PS3. They just nailed it. But they had some teething problems like anyone does the first year, but after that it was just plain sailing, and it's almost like it's gone. Oh well, people just expect it to be good, so we just don't need to try. And I'm sure it's not like that behind the scenes.
You may have hit the nail on the head there. Exactly what you've just said. The first year they had some issues.
Yeah,
I think
and
a lot
it
of
could be
people are
that.
forgetting that it's still very, very early days.
Mm.
You know, very early days for a console that's for this generation that have changed so much. You know, it's not just about the internal stuff. The whole design and idea of a console is completely changing on both Microsoft and Sony's front.
Yeah.
From going from like the original Xbox into the 360 was simply kind of a hardware upgrade, and the same from PlayStation 1 up to PlayStation 3 it was hardware upgrades.
Yeah.
But now the idea of a console is different. You know.
Yeah, there's so much expected of them, and I think this generation has been a strange one because, like you say, you know, everyone expects the new and shiny, but for some reason on this one they're expecting that, and they're expecting it to work immediately, and I'm not entirely sure.
But it should, damn it! Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it probably should, but
No,
like you say,
that's what the fanboys want, though, isn't it?
completely different ideas and approaches to what these consoles should be. Like Joe said, you know, it's not just a gaming system anymore; it's a media system. Both consoles are integrating that kind of stuff. It's more PC architecture than it ever was before in the past. The whole online experience is first and foremost on both of them. They're both going to have teething problems. They probably should be getting ironed out a little bit quicker. Some of the problems shouldn't maybe have existed in the first place, but it's still really early days. I think, you know, the crux of the matter will be if they're still having these problems in 8-9 months' time, then yeah, there's something that's gone wrong. But considering how much the 360 and the PlayStation changed during the course of their lifetime, personally, I've got no issues. I can take a few bumps in the road if it gets to where potentially they both could be.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the 360, if you had a 360 with the original dashboard that it came with, and played a game of like Cameo or Perfect Dark Zero, and then you had one next to it with the latest dashboard playing like Grand Theft Auto 5, for example, and you look at that, I mean, to be honest, that looks like a generation gap. That looks like between like an old console and a new one. You know,
absolutely, without a doubt. You know, they are completely different beasts, aren't they?
I would almost say that difference is almost the same as new updated 360 to Xbox One. It's almost on that sort of level of improvement.
Oh, it is, yeah. Without a doubt. I mean, you've only got to look at my favourite Battlefield 4. The difference in the game itself from the last gen to the Xbox One, PS4 is leaps and bounds ahead.
Yeah.
Leaps and bounds. That was the difference between Battlefield 3 and PC Battlefield 3. You know, which they're completely different games.
If you looked at like the Battlefield 4 on the 360 to Battlefield 2 Modern Combat, which is like one of the first games to come out on the 360, and again you'd see that sort of gap. I mean, you know, that bear in mind that the difference between them is what, 8-9 years. And, you know, but we've had, you know, 360 to 1 in a couple of months, so...
That's what I mean.
But is
I think...
Go on, Terry.
No, go on, Carl. I'm talking more than you.
That's all right. You know,
take your turn.
That's what editing and stuff is all about, my friends. No, it's...
Well, he's going to edit him out. Is that what you're saying?
I feel like a secretary though when we're doing the podcast. Behind the scenes, guys, I'm here with notepads making notes of what we're saying, so we can do the write-ups and stuff. So
he has a fedora with a little like ticket in it and everything.
Yeah. Do you think they're bitten off more than they can chew though? Because like, okay, we're talking about the Xbox a lot this week, but they've been pushing the Xbox before the release as being a multimedia system over a gaming system, whereas the PS4 took that decision early on of being, this is about the gamers. So this ties in with that
opinion really pisses me off. they never put it as a
Well,
multimedia over a gaming system.
no,
That's how people
pushed.
read it.
They pushed. That's what they pushed. Obviously, we knew that it was
They pushed the media side of it because it was new.
Yeah,
And
and I
as
got on
any
board
business
because of
would.
that. I got on board because of that because I want that. My point being, it links in with the hard drive thing as well.
From the layman, okay, yeah, I can see from people's perspective, it was getting pushed more
to
as
the
a
average consumer, should have said.
I don't even think it was getting pushed more than the gaming side. I think it was pushed before, because the first real update we had of the Xbox One was TV.
Yeah.
But then they knew that coming at E3, they could just talk about the games, and that's what they did. And that's why I think that Xbox had a stronger E3 than PlayStation.
Yeah, you've said it much better than I did there, Joe. That's kind of what I was trying to get at. They didn't. It wasn't a one-sided thing as people bit onto the first bit, and
exactly.
That was
look, it's all about TV, because we all know that the gaming community is fickle business.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah, just the fanboys. But I guess my point being, it links in with everything we were saying earlier on, like the bigger hard drive. Like Joe says, why don't we put a bigger hard drive in? I'm saying I want an external hard drive. I want those media features. I want to be able to stick an external hard drive in there. And what I would love as a dream is to be able to download like an app or something, even if I have to pay like $5 for it or something like that, off Xbox Live, where because you get apps for the PC where you put your DVDs in and it brings up all the data, metadata for it, the covers, all that kind of stuff. Stick all that on external hard drive, put it in the Xbox One, and then say, Xbox play the Avengers DVD or something.
I can fully imagine that coming across. I can really, not just on the Xbox. I can see that being on the PS4 as well.
Yeah, on the PS4, both consoles exactly. But that's my point about both live situations, as it were, being a little bit teething problems in the first few months. Do you think maybe that because Xbox 360 and the PS3 was all about the games that when they first came out. Now we've got the games. We've also got the multimedia features. We've got to have Love Film. We've got to have Netflix, all that kind of stuff. Internet Explorer. We've got making videos. We've got built-in PVRs. All that. Do you think it's just a case of bitten off more than they can chew? Like it's like a jack of all trades, but at the moment,
when you put it like that, you can kind of see how they are starting to be. I mean, because when I've started playing my Xbox, I mean, yes, I use the internet on it. We watch things through Netflix on it. I use the YouTube app on it. Most of the apps that are relevant on there, I do tend to use, and I mean, sometimes I really try and work it. I have like lots of things. Obviously, this Skype has a few little issues, but the way that they're all working, if I can sort of like just play a little defense, especially on the Xbox One, I'm not entirely sure on the PS4, is that all of those are separate apps.
Yeah.
They're all working independently. Now, obviously, they all need to sort of come together to work as one at some point. But if Skype's got a slight issue and there's something going wrong with Netflix and the Xbox Live isn't quite working as well, then if all of them have got a little problem with them, obviously together they're going to have a bigger conglomerate of a problem. And like you say, maybe it is a case of we haven't really managed to sort of work the internal management of it as efficiently as it could be yet. And obviously updates and I mean obviously we've got another. We seem to be having a major update for the Xbox One every month now. I know the new PS4 firmware has just come out, 1.64 if my memory serves me correct.
Didn't I say a few podcasts ago that I guarantee you by March, April time you'll start getting all the updates coming out? I'm sure I
think you did. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Because it makes sense. It makes sense. They've had a few months now of people running it, and that the feedback they've been getting, both verbal and technical feedback. You're never going to recreate that inside a lab, ever. So now they've got a few...
Well, no, not when you've got 6 million units being played on.
You've got a few months for some serious number crunching and technical feedback where they can actually go in and go, right, these are the issues people are encountering the most, and they'll just start ironing them out now. And once they've got over those and all the systems, I'm talking both Microsoft and PS4, once all those little issues are ironed out, then they'll start working on the improvements and making it what was promised almost.
Because I mean, there is talk. Obviously, we're GDC at the minute. Well, we're not, but the gaming community is there. That there is going to be
coming at you live from the on-site bar. No.
that the Xbox One's going to receive DirectX 11, which will obviously be a big sort of power boost for the graphics.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've got that coming in as well, because I mean there's a lot of people sort of saying I like to play my games in 1080p, so that's why I chose the PS4. Unless you've got a 50-inch TV, it's very little difference between them. So please don't get sucked into that. If you're playing on sort of a 32, 40-inch TV, if it's full HD, it's going to get upscaled to a point, but you're not going to be able to tell the difference. All the games are beautiful on both.
It still bugs me that people are still kind of duped by that whole talk of,
yes, I completely agree.
Frame rate and resolution. Whereas on the PC, it's very noticeable. Most PC gamers that have got high-end rigs have got a good monitor to play it on. Resolution and frames per second are very, very important for them, because they will notice constant dips in frames and all the rest of it. On consoles, it's not as important. Like you say, it really isn't, and you can't tell the difference. You really can't. And like you say, unless you've got a very, very high-end TV, a few shows that I've been lucky enough to go to, you see the games there on these high-end TVs, they look absolutely gorgeous. You see them again on a low-end TV, they still look absolutely gorgeous, but there might be a slight difference because of the quality of the TV. That's always going to be the case. You walk into like your local Argos and you look at all the TVs they've got lined up. Some of them look better than others. They're playing the same fucking thing, the same channel or whatever, but some TVs look better.
We had that a couple of years ago when myself and Moobit went to the Play Expo, and they had NBA 2K13 set up. Then they had one of the top spec Samsung Series 9s, and it looked. It was about it must have been a 48-inch telly, and it looked fucking gorgeous. I mean, this was only on 360 at the time, wasn't it?
And
it looked gorgeous.
Sweat on the skin and everything. It was insane.
It was all lush, and then they had like two smaller TVs which were a bit lower spec on the other side, and you could see the direct difference. Yeah. So, if you want that sort of thing, then you have to go and pay for the TV. But if you've already got the TV, and you're saying, I'll get a PS4 because it looks better, it's not necessarily true. But even though it is, you're really not going to be able to tell the difference. And in like a few months anyway, once the Xbox actually gets up to speed, because they have been a bit slower with the development of it.
They have.
Then it will catch up. And this is what I said before. PS4, when it was launched, was a here and now instant. You could play your games and it was brilliant. Whereas with the Xbox, it was more of a progressive. It's a bit troubled now, but it's going to be even more incredible 6 to 8 months down the line, and that's why I ultimately chose the Xbox over the PS4.
I think that's a lot of people did as well, but I think a lot of people had faith in the brand. Once they kind of cut through all the chaff, I mean, I must admit, when they were both first announced, I was like, I don't think I'll be going Xbox. I think I'll be going PlayStation 4, because I didn't like the way they were pushing things. And like Moobit said earlier, the whole media side of it, I was like, I'm not sold on these ideas. But then the more information came out, and the specs started coming out again, and I do have faith in the brand, and it's starting to pay off. I mean, when it first came out, there was people bitching about Xbox and all the rest of it. PlayStation guys were like, the lol box and all the rest of it. It's a piece of crap. How many of those people now have now gone out and bought an Xbox One? I can think of at least six people that I regularly see on like my Twitter timeline that bought a PS4.
There's one
and now only ever playing Xbox One.
There's one particular person that I unfollowed at one point on Twitter, because they were just so ignorant of the sort of the difference between the two, and saying, whereas where I got my saying, I like my games in 1080p, so I'm playing on the PS4. They have now gone and bought an Xbox One, and like you say, because they like Titanfall, and they haven't turned it off yet. So
it's not all about the resolution. I wish really wish people could get over that.
It's the
Yeah,
gameplay.
But at the end of the day, it's going to be, both systems are going to be able to do pretty much the same sort of interface. Where both can record, both can sort of stream online, both can chat, both can Skype, both can sort of look at YouTube and download Netflix. What the difference is how you hold the controller and what games you play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think somebody from the PC Master Race told me once. He said, "Yeah, if you're that bothered about FPS and resolution, you'll have bought a PC ages ago."
Yes, I completely agree with that.
And I do believe that's true. If you're that bothered about it, you'll have all the best specs already. You won't be worried about console stuff because you'll have the latest graphics card on the latest monitor in the latest PC. So, should we take a break at that though?
Yeah, so I think we need to get on to some news.
We do! Hit the news! But before that, quick message from our sponsor and our associate charity, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes. See you in a sec. This podcast is sponsored by funstock.co.uk, a UK-based online retailer who specialise in retro video game consoles including Neo Geo, Sega and Atari, and current-gen video games across all systems, both in physical and digital download formats. And don't forget, funstock.co.uk are an exclusive distributor of the amazing Neo Geo X console. Visit Funstock online right now to see everything that they have to offer, and don't forget to look them up on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest and YouTube. funstock.co.uk. Okay, and welcome back. Thanks for listening to that message, and of course, don't forget to use promo code GAMERDAD at the store at funstock.co.uk. You get 10% off everything in store. I'd personally, if you got the money, really highly recommend the Neo Geo X Gold console stroke handheld console thing. It's fucking awesome!
If you do, Moobit will personally give you £20.
Of Monopoly money, maybe.
Of real English pound sterling.
No.
No.
I'm not that rich.
Stop it. No.
Stop it, you silly boy. Stop being silly.
Sorry.
Yes, you get back in your hole. No, seriously, there's a lot of good shit on there, and basically check it out.
Even I'm interested in it, and I can't. I'm getting bored of retro. So
yeah, well, modern. You got DLC codes for 360 games and PS4 games and stuff like that. So good for the modern guys. But yeah, if you got the money for a retro console and you're not really into retro consoling, I'd recommend Neo Geo X. It's brilliant because it's a console with an arcade joystick, and then the innards is like a really high end handheld console that you can take away with you. It's fucking brilliant.
Genuinely brilliant.
So cool. So cool piece of kit. It's brilliant. Sexy looking as well. Really nice.
Yeah, that screen is gorgeous, isn't it?
It is, man. It is. And sorry, I'm be talking about Neo Geo X, but I need to get that review done. Actually, I've finally just about caught up with my other stuff, so I'm going to do a review of that.
That was
very
like
soon.
7 months ago.
No, I've done a review on the podcast, you moron. I was going to do a video one, like an all nicely shot one. I did a quick video review, but I was going to do like an all shiny, nicely edited one as well. But shiny things ensued. So there you go. I've got a lot of hiss in the background, by the way. Who's that? That's
I can't
better.
hear anything.
That's better.
I haven't done anything.
Yeah, that's me. Sorry about that, dear listeners. I'm not going to edit that out. It was just there seems to be a lot of hiss. Sorry if it's a bad sound for you guys in the ears. I'll try and edit it.
He's got the Python out.
Oh yeah. He wishes. And while we're doing shout-outs, let's get back on script. While we're doing shout-outs, I want to give a shout-out to the makers, Glitch Games, the makers of Cabin Escape, Alice's Story. Couple of top guys, basically my kind of people, what I would call bedroom programmers, even though they're not. They're an official company and all that. But iOS and Android developers. And there's a game called Alice's Story coming out very, very soon. Review coming up next week by me. I'll be playing that this week. But it's a very sexy looking game. It's one of those kind of room escape puzzly type games with all that mini games built into it. But it's looking very good. Very early impressions. It's quite kind of sexy. and the guys who run it are just awesome and very passionate about gaming. So I want to give those guys a shout out. Go and check them out at glitchgames.co.uk. Look out for the review next week. Moving on to more modern stuff. There's a certain game about giant fighting robots, apparently, from what I hear.
Transformers?
Oh,
No,
Transformers games out. That must be awesome.
Yeah, man. Well, Transformers 4, should we talk about that? Because that's the trailer's out for that.
They're on
And it
fucking
looks
metal
the same.
dinosaurs.
Yes. It looks the same as the previous. Not about massive reboot. It's going to be completely different.
How can they
exactly
look
the
any
same.
different? How can it look any different? They already look as good as they can be. They can't
In the
make
words
them look...
of Gold Leader from Star Wars, stay on target.
Yes.
Because you're fucking ranting. You're gone completely off tangent.
I know, but it's just...
Should never have said it.
Robot rebuilds. Right, Optimus Prime has been all the robots have been redone. Like Prime's got a new exoskeleton and all the rest, but they're just still like a hunk of keys being jangled in front of your eyes. There's no
Just stop. Just stop.
Breathe.
Right.
Take a breath.
Two words and we'll carry on.
Yes.
Mark Wahlberg.
He's a wanker. No, he's not.
I said we'll move on. I like Mark Wahlberg. I think he's
okay. He's cut in real life. You see him on Top Gear and when he's interviewed away from films, and he seems like a cool guy, but his characters are always such wankers. I don't in his films. I don't know what it is, but I
thought he was good. I thought he was funny in Ted. I thought he played that well.
His character was a bit of a tosspot, wasn't he? But not saying Mark Wahlberg was a tosspot. I'm saying his character was very convincing as that. But I don't know. It's supposed to be, when they said a big reboot, I thought it'd be all like, Unicron trilogy or like set in space and then finally go to Cybertron. And maybe the robots actually talk for more than 3 lines this time, rather than it being all porn about the US Army. Just a robot standing around in the background, not doing much. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Hold on, wasn't Cybertron destroyed in Dark of the Moon?
No, well, it's Cybertron. It is kind of, if you go to the canon of the comics and stuff as well like that, Cybertron's kind of a dead planet now.
Yes.
There's still people on there. They could go back to. They could go back to the time before it was dead during the war, or they could, in the comics and in the TV series and stuff, they do reboot Cybertron as well and create a second golden age where everyone's around and all that. But yeah, I'm drifting off, I know. But you talked about bloody lightsabers. Shut up. Star Wars is
don't you dare.
What?
Alright, Titanfall.
Alright, okay. One more thing about films. News about the new Star Wars film. Are we happy?
Starting filming in May.
Yeah, are we happy about the casting decisions so far?
Not seeing any casting decisions.
I'm not unhappy with them.
They kind of know Mark a bit, aren't they?
Well, it doesn't really matter who they're going to cast. It's about how nobody knows what sort of cinematic direction they're going to go with the film. So I'll wait until that before I decide on whether or not they were cast right or wrong.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a
one thing I do
massive
know about the actual film, they said at one stage that the director is very much on the lines of physical props and physical sets.
That's
and
what
not
I'm
CGI.
talking about.
So
yes.
that's a bonus.
I have heard rumours they built a full scale Millennium Falcon.
Yes, they have at Pinewood.
Yes.
So yeah,
well,
I'm happy with that. It's going back to the original way of filmmaking, which it seems a lot of films are starting to do again, which I'm very happy with.
It seems to have gone to the precipice because I think the prequel trilogies were a step too far.
Yeah.
Because it was just a giant green round studio with maybe one box to signify where a table. They even CGI'd like fucking tables when they didn't need to.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Like, what the hell?
It was.
And then Indy 4 was an example of a film where it was previously all done practically, and then they started doing CGI, and it was really noticeable. So rather than doing physical stunts, it'll be CGI and CGI monkeys and nuking the fridge and all that kind of shit. And I think. That's why the 2 new Star Wars films, although there's a lot of CGI in it, the sets were real, and it gave it a bit more grounding, a bit more oomph to me, But but there you go. So hopefully Star Wars can get back to its glory days, because I do like it. You know,
You heard,
I just
you heard it here first.
I do. I've always like.
He prefers Star Wars to Star Trek.
No, I
He
don't
does.
prefer.
Anyway, so quick word on.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Let's quickly
Moving
segue
on.
on to Titanfall.
No.
So
Never.
we spoke in length last time out about Titanfall. Obviously now the full game has been released. Moobit, you've been playing it.
Oh yes.
Thoughts?
Awesome sauce. You know how much of a cynic I am. Anyone knows me in real life knows how much of a cynic I am, and you also know, you dear podcast listeners, how much I dislike first-person shooters. So bear it for me. This is pretty much, if it was a 5-star review from any other reviewer, it would be 15 stars kind of a thing. It's brilliant. It's fun, which is the thing. I don't like first-person shooters. I'm no good at them, but it's fun. It allows me to play in the way I like, running around like an ape-off, capturing flags, and it doesn't matter if I shoot people. You know, it's got giant fighting robots. It moves smoothly. It just plays to different people's strengths, and I don't know if it's just because it's early doors and people haven't started playing it like the COD kids, where they all start glitching and stuff. Yeah, I don't know, but it is brilliant.
The general consensus is that it's just a very, very fun game, but
it's just fun.
Way you said there, like it's because of how long it's been out, people aren't playing it like they do COD. It's not a game like you can play with COD. If you camp in that game, you're gonna have a very, very boring time.
Yeah,
you need to be out there, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, there is so many different. The introduction of wall running is fucking genius.
Oh yeah. That's
because
what
now,
I like
the entire map, there is no one set path like there is in COD and everything. You know, in Call of Duty, and even to some respects, Battlefield and certain maps,
Call of Duty,
you have to go a certain path. Yeah, you have to take certain paths.
There's a left, a right, and a middle. They're big open maps, but at the end of the day, there's a left and there's a right, and a middle.
Every part of a Call of Duty map is designed to be able to see another part.
Yeah.
You know, there is no. But whereas Titanfall, you've got a big square with some buildings scattered in the middle. Make the most of it, and you can run in. Certain times there are only certain paths you can go, but because you can jump and run on these walls, it makes it completely different. So if someone is sitting in a corner, they're going to be sitting there all game, doing fuck all.
You can, on the flip side, you can camp if you are a good sniper, and that's how snipers should be.
Yeah, I'm completely happy with that.
Yeah, man.
If you're a sniper, you don't want to be in the fucking middle of the fracas. You want to be able to stand back and take the shot. Then that's how you play a sniper.
Exactly, but with COD you can't be a sniper because you get shot for being a camper, and then you got all people running around and arsing about. Whereas this is designed like some maps are very closed, tall skyscrapers, 15-story skyscrapers all around you, and that's designed for running around like an ape of war running, having a Titan in the street, that kind of thing. Some are big countryside type maps, mountains surrounding it, a couple of random like settlements in the middle, and there's one particular map that's like that, which was on the beta. There was an open map, and then there was the building map. So you know which ones I mean. That open map,
Fracture and Angel City.
There you go. So Fracture, there are 3 points where you can be right on the very edge of the map, sat in a bush with a sniper rifle, and it's pretty obvious where you are. So it's people can come and get you, and it's not like it's a glitch where people can shoot you, but you can sit there with a sniper rifle and pick people off from across the map with a sniper rifle. It takes a couple of shots. You have to be quite good, but you will get killed because you can sit there for a few minutes and then you have to move on. Because if you don't move on, because the runners
for you.
I mean,
because they can run so fast, they'll come for you. So you have to move on, and it's great. I love that.
People are genuinely amazed when they have like games where they haven't died. It's like, oh look, I've got 8 kills and no deaths. Look at that, that's incredible. Whereas like people on Call of Duty sort of like take that as part and parcel sometimes, because there are, yeah. I mean, I don't, I've only played the beta of Titanfall, but what I say, I just love that no 2 games are the same.
Yeah.
Some would, like you say, with Call of Duty, everyone would take their paths and go left, right, middle, and then we'd all meet in the middle, and then it would all sort of like get a bit jumbled, and you'd sort of go one way but shoot from the right. But with Titanfall, there's always that chance to, if you are starting to get shot by somebody, there is that chance to be able to get away and to be able to survive that encounter, and then you say like scale a building, come round, try and flank them from the other side, and there's just so much that you can do on it, even on all the basic modes as well. And like I say, there's in the full game there's like 15 maps, there's 40 odd weapons, and there's 3 different Titan chassis that you can have. And the one question I will ask you, I mean, I don't know how much you've played of it, but obviously it's pretty much multiplayer only. There's a little bit of the campaign that's still on multiplayer, but it's very sort of brief. And is it worth sort of? I mean, I know it's a little bit less than regular full retail price for next gen games, but is it still worth my £45 just for the online?
Yes.
Is there that depth? Because I mean, there are stories. Obviously, some people have already reached the top level cap and they can't progress anymore. It doesn't seem to be as many levels as the word. If we can compare it to a Call of Duty sort of scheme.
There are more online multiplayer maps on this than there are on the Call of Duty games. There are a couple more. Or at least it feels like there is. The single player, yes, is tacked on. It is. It's a multiplayer match with AI bots, but you can still get random human-controlled people jumping in. Like, we'll cover that in a minute, actually. I do a lot of live streaming now. Now the app has gone onto the Xbox One. I don't have to set up on my PVR, my PC, and wires everywhere. It's a lot easier to do it straight from the Xbox.
And it seems to work pretty well as well, actually.
It works very well, yeah.
And the fact that you can have the Kinect set up and you can choose where it sits, so people can watch you as you're playing. And like you say, you don't need any other apparatus. You've already got your headset, you've already got your camera, and you've already got your game.
It's very good. So now I've set up my PVR, my HD PVR, in the other room where the Xbox 360, the Wii, the retro consoles, some of the retro consoles are, because I don't need it in the main room where the Xbox One is. And what I do, the bottom of the Kinect, I didn't even realise this, has got a tripod mount screw. I didn't even notice.
Did you not?
I never noticed when I took it out of the box because you put it on in front of the TV on the unit and it's there.
It's pretty much designed with that in mind, I suppose. And it works on the wall mounts and on some of the TV mounts that you can buy. Some the third-party TV mounts that you can get. The actual works with those.
Exactly. So exactly what I do. I've got a tripod because I normally have cameras set up. I've just got a tripod in between my knees with a Kinect on the tripod. So you got like me filling the whole screen rather than because the thing with when you're doing Skype on the Kinect, for anyone who say has a PS4 or whatever, the Kinect will zoom in on your face if you tell it to. You can go Kinect follow MoveIt, for example, and it'll zoom in on your face and you'll fill the whole screen. On the Twitch app, it doesn't. It's just a wide shot of your room, and with the Kinect having basically almost like a fisheye lens, you get the entire room, and you're just this tiny little speck in the background, So I put the Kinect, but it comes with a very, 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 very long wire, so you can pull it right up close to you. So I have it.
I was really surprised at the length of that wire.
It's really long, isn't it?
Yeah, it must be 3 meters.
Easily, more than that, because there's a meter of it going from the Xbox bottom of my unit into the fake wall, if you will.
Yeah.
Up and into the TV at the back, into where the TV is at the back where it stood. And then I'm still pulling it, and there's another 3 or 4 meters past that. I think must be a 4 meter cable. These 3, 4, maybe 5 meter cable.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, I stick it on a tripod in front of my feet, and then my whole face is filling the little window in the bottom corner there. And it's brilliant, and it picks up the sound from your Xbox headset, which is actually quite clear and nice. I'm enjoying it, and I've been doing a lot of live streams. So I guess if you want to watch me on live stream, by the way, it's
shameless
media.
plug.
Well, no,
that's what all this has been about, hasn't it? Just to get more viewers on your.
We haven't got a Gamer Dads one set up yet, but we've got we've got moobitmedia for me. Mark G84's got one. Who else has got one? Fed Gamer's got one, I think. What else? But if you go to gamerdadsUK front page, we've got them all embedded on the front page there, so you can just go on and see if they happen to be streaming at the time. And if you're a Gamer House member, you've got a Twitch TV channel, let us know. We'll embed it on the front page for you. But yeah, and it's brilliant for that. But anyway, I was streaming. Back to point. I was streaming on Titanfall, and I've got to play this because you'll think it's hilarious. Streaming on Titanfall, and I tend to do a bit more what I want to be highbrow, let's say. So I'll be playing the game, but I'll also be talking about a news article or some kind of psychology study or whatever. And on this particular night, I was talking about the differences of a gamer dad, if you will, and the average gamer. So, like us three, you'll all admit that we find it hard to juggle. You know, you've got a work persona, you've got your home persona, you've got the persona you put on for your kids, you've got, the persona you put on for your wives, your husbands and all that. And then, of course, you've still got to fit in your gaming in between that. And how do we juggle that in modern society? Anyway, that was the plan until some drunken dude comes on. I'm not realising I had an open party. And some drunken dude comes on mid-sentence, is like, hello? What are you talking about? Who are you? Like that. I'm like, oh god, here we go, troll. Anyway, this happened.
Because it is a balance, and it's a damn hard one a lot of the time, don't you think? Now, what's in here? I've not found much to shoot at yet today. I think I'm on the edge of the map. This might be it, as you can probably tell. Hello? Who's that?
Can't hear him very well.
Excuse me, dear listeners. Who the hell are you? Hello. Oh, I'm recording a YouTube video at the same time as playing, my friend. Who am I talking to? You're a fan? Okay.
A fan of your...
Alright, so what's my YouTube channel? Same here. Right, you are.
So, what point did you sort of like think I should actually really record this? Because although your reenactment is wonderful, it's I feel I'm missing the story.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm missing the actual hilarity of it.
I know, because I stopped recording like an idiot, and I should have started recording again, but we just got talking. It was so weird. I mean, big shout out to Ellis Tarrant and his boyfriend there, because they were also, and because you saw on the actual video, it's on my YouTube channel. All those who want to watch it, you don't have to, but it's there. You saw in the actual video, at first when he jumps in, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a troll, he's going to start slagging me off and all that, and here we go, And they were both really nice, and they were just like talking about, do I make a living from YouTube and all this kind of stuff, and what they've been up to and stuff. But it was just like, yeah, because we were like mid-sentence, and all of a sudden went, yeah, we're off to bed now. And then all of a sudden the avatar just stops in the middle of a fucking field. It's just sort of the end of the video there, and I'm like, yeah, hello. And on there, hello. And they've obviously got to bed, and left the Xbox turned on, slammed the controller, and they just fucking stood there in the middle of the field.
Bizarre.
It was so weird.
That is a bit strange.
So Titanfall, not only fun, but introduces you to new friends.
Yeah. I don't know how. I've not worked out how the system works, but normally you have to join a party and stuff, don't you? But for some reason, I think it's if you're on your own, if people in your party are almost like squads in Battlefield, like they can hear what you're saying.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, and I didn't realise that, so obviously I'm pissing people off trying to do this vlog thinking no one can hear me. You know what I mean?
That makes it even funnier because you're basically the knob end that won't shut up that everyone's trying. How do I mute this cunt?
Exactly. I became everything we all hate. So I'm there like,
Unbeknownst to you, that's it. The credit where it's due, though. You didn't know, so but now you
no,
do.
I genuinely didn't know, so I'm gonna have to look at the settings and make sure no one can hear me because otherwise, I'm presuming everyone else in the squad just like muted me or something. But sound like this fucking knobhead. You know? Well, these two dudes are like, we're having him. And they fucking
Yeah. Oh,
start quizzing me.
saying that, I was playing Battlefield the other night now. For some reason, no fucker ever uses a mic on Battlefield, but I keep mine plugged in. And I've met some really cool people on there recently that actually like just using mics and stuff, like the odd one or two.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. It seems like the people that are left on 360, the vast majority of them are pretty cool. They're pretty sound people. Because obviously all the hardcore guys have jumped ship.
Yeah, they've all gone.
And the ones that are left are seem a lot more casual and a lot more down to earth. It's actually been really, really pleasant to interact with some of these guys. It's been a pleasure, which is it's quite novel, really. It's kind of brought back to what it was, quite a few years ago, when everyone was kind of on mics and before all the idiots came on and trolling was such a big thing. It seems to have gone a bit full circle on the 360 because the only people that are left are the ones that just enjoy gaming for gaming, which is it's quite refreshing, really. It's pretty cool.
And that's what you want, though, isn't it? You know.
Absolutely.
Are we
yes.
recording now?
We are recording, yes.
Right,
Hello.
that's fine. No, that's fine. I'm just trying to keep up. I'm half asleep.
Where you been?
So we've got Titanfall, but Joe, you were on about what was it, Metal Gear Solid earlier, was you not?
Yes. Obviously, it comes out in. But depending on when Moobit actually bothers to edit this, it could even be out now.
Aye. Shut up.
But yes, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes is coming out. It's a prologue chapter to the big release that will be coming out in suspected to early 2015. I imagine that Moobit will have edited this before then.
God, here we go. I've had nothing but slagging off on Twitter about that today. It's been hilarious. It's like, you absolute bunch of bastards.
Yeah.
Kirby BFC.
Oh yes, that was funny. Straight on it.
I'm like, podcast team, assemble. 30 seconds later at Kirby_BFC. Yay! So we'll only have to wait another 3 months for Moobit to upload it. Bastards!
It's funny because it's true. Anyway.
Damn you. Anyway.
Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, as it's going to be called, coming out on PS4 and the Xbox One. But right now they're bringing out the prologue to it, which is for the average person. It's going to take a couple of hours to do the main mission, and it's going to be sort of an hour or so of sort of collectibles and and then you can try it different ways, and that's possibly sort of 6-7 hours of sort of even want to replay on harder difficulty, that sort of thing. So it's pretty much your average sort of Call of Duty single player game. But obviously it looks incredible. It's the high end graphics that we all saw at the year before last E3 when they showed that sort of 7-8 minute trailer of the gameplay. That's from this game, and it does look absolutely stunning. The lighting, the rain, the wind, everything like that. It looks phenomenal. A lot of people berating it because of the length of it. I mean, it's only going to cost around £25 for it, depending on where you get it from. There is a speedrun video that's come out today of it being completed. The main story, skip all the cutscenes in, I shit you not, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's worrying, really. I mean, I know it's a speed run and there's lots of other options to do, and they have literally gone hell for leather through it, but 10 minutes is really quick.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, for the average person, they're saying it takes around 2 hours to do the main story, plus, and then you got the side stuff. So, but even if it's sort of like 5, 6, 7 hours, if you play it through on a harder difficulty, try and eke some life out of that.
Because it is sandbox, isn't it? You've got lots of different ways to complete the mission or something. So it's not, there's lots of alternatives.
You can wait sort of, the day and night. You can say like, choose your tactics. Play the waiting game. You'll go in all guns blazing. It's really meant to be sort of an eye opener for what the full game is going to be next year, which Hideo Kojima's come out and said it's going to be around 200 times bigger, and people may never complete it. So essentially, what I'm picturing in my mind
that's a fucking big promise there, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's bullshit right there.
I'm picturing Metal Gear Solid, The Elder Scrolls. There, it almost sounds like Skyrim in its size, in its the side quests and things like that. That's what comes to my mind. It's I think it's set in Afghanistan. In sort of like relatively sort of like next week Afghanistan. But is this prologue such a great idea? Is it going to be worth the money? It's getting fairly decent reviews, but whether those reviews take into account price and things like that.
Sold on it, really.
No, I mean, obviously, as gamer dads, obviously we're short of a bit of money sometimes. Not always easy to get that sort of cash together. With my £25, do I want to go out and play something that's only going to take me sort of 5 hours to do most of the stuff I'm interested in, or do I want to put an extra £15 towards it and get Titanfall? Okay. For the Metal Gear Solid fans that obviously it's coming to Microsoft. It's going to be for the brand new system, and it looks all incredible and shiny. It's just going to be. I think it's going to be one of those. Do I? Don't I? Not. Is it going to be a good game? Should I buy it? Or it's going to be. Should I? Is it worth the money that they're asking for the limited amount of time I'm going to have playing it?
I mean, I'm still a bit confused as to why they've done it. The only thing I can think of is that they need to build up a bit of story that they haven't yet in the expanded universe, like the comics and previous games, and to build up a bit of hype. Now, is hype building and explaining a bit of story worth a £30 purchase on its own? To me, probably not. I think possibly a better way of doing it would maybe release some sort of like episodic titles, of like an hour's length or something, like the Walking Dead game, for example. Like a few episodes. Drag that out over a few months, and then leave it a couple of months before the final release. I think that would have gone down better than a £30 full title. I mean, yes, okay, it's cheaper, but that 10-minute speedrun thing, that's all people are going to see now. They're just going to say, fucking 10 minutes. Yeah. At most, I'm only going to get a couple of hours out of it. And like you say, for some people that are tight on money, they've got a toss-up between put the extra tenner on and get something like Titanfall, which they're going to get countless hours out of.
Here's an interesting thing from Hideo Kojima himself, and he's seen the controversy surrounding it. He's come out with this little statement. Ground Zeroes offers freedom of approach and play style, which we hope players will enjoy over and over without being boring. I believe people will be satisfied with the playtime, inverted brackets, of Ground Zeroes and will not stress the clear time, inverted brackets, which is the standard for linear games. Now, that word, hope.
Yeah.
That bugs me.
They shouldn't be pinning it on hope. The thing, Metal Gear does not... It's got such a massive fan base. Everybody loves... Well, the vast majority of people love Metal Gear games. A lot of people have grown up with Metal Gear games. All they've got to do is whack the Metal Gear title onto something, and it will sell.
Yeah.
My concern is that something like this will leave a bit of a bitter taste in people's mouths. And they'll go...
Because how long are the cutscenes? I mean, you look at the last Metal Gear game on the PlayStation, about 7 hours of that's cutscenes.
Yeah, they're a film. Absolutely, I completely agree with that. But if you're new to the franchise, are you going to be... like for us, older ones that have grown up with it and know the story, and it is one hell of an intricate story.
Yeah,
it really is.
You have to pay attention to it.
It's confusing. Yeah,
because you've got so many time shifts and stuff like that. It's very confusing. So somebody new to the franchise who isn't up to speed on the story, that's literally picking this up, believing it to be a new game. You know, your average Joe Bloggs who doesn't read the papers and whatever else and isn't up to speed on current events, they're going to see this new game for their new console hitting the shelves. They're then going to play this game and go, is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're going to see another one come out in 2015 and go, I got the last one of them. It only took me 2 hours. What a piece of shit. I'm not going to buy that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I see where you're coming from.
For an average game, I think that's it's going to be a real pickle to push that toward your average gamer, which are the majority of people. You know, in this time now where people are clamoring for new titles, Titanfall's only just come out. If you've only got an Xbox One, or a PS4, there's not that many games still. A new one hits the shelves, it's going to be on the TV and all the rest of it, and you get a couple of hours out of it.
Here's an
It might
interesting
feel a little bit
conundrum.
bitter. Well, I would anyway.
Here's an interesting conundrum for you.
Yep.
So, Kojima reckons that the full game coming next year is 200 times bigger than Ground Zeroes. Now, they've rated Ground Zeroes at being around £25 is what I've seen it for. So, does that mean that the full game is going to be worth £5,000?
Of course not. I mean, don't get me wrong. All the Metal Gear games that I've played, they've always been really enjoyable.
Good,
love
yeah.
every minute of it.
Love them.
I mean,
They're a
when I
PlayStation, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, when I had a PS3, I got Metal Gear Solid 4, and I really enjoyed that. The reason I got that was because I had Metal Gear Solid 3 for the PS2, and I really enjoyed that as well.
Something like Snake Eater, you could give that a reskin, releasing that, it would still stand up.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You know, they would still stand up now against, something like Just Cause and stuff like that. If that game came out now, it would sell just as well.
It basically already has. It got reskinned and re-released on the 3DS, and it was a good improvement.
Yeah, I mean, they did the HD collection and stuff. But I'm just saying, if you completely reskinned that and built it
completely,
with a new
made it
engine,
shiny. Yeah.
If you put Snake Eater into the engine, this Foxhound engine that they're using now, fuck me, that would be amazing.
Oh god, yeah. I still haven't completed Metal Gear 3. I've got it off twice.
Oh, dude, you've got to.
I know,
Yeah,
I do
definitely.
need to. The Metal Gear MGS2 and MGS1, I completed a few times, but I couldn't get into 3. I don't know what it is.
That's fantastic game.
I couldn't. I don't know what it. I don't know. It maybe the stripped back nature of it when you first start out. I don't know what it is. I just it never.
Depending on sort of this, obviously the whole sandboxy style, Skyrim, and obviously the Phantom Pain, Grand Theft Auto, that sort of thing. But I like the older stuff, like the older sort of setting stuff rather. And the one game that's like that, that's really shouting out to me at the minute, is The Witcher 3. Which just, it looks fucking fantastic.
That's been pushed back again, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. And there's the news coming out as well that they're making a mobile game. Their actual studio, which is interesting. Whether that's a reason or not, probably not. But the fact that it's coming to consoles is, well, I mean, they've been PC only, obviously for the past 2 Witchers, and they're critically acclaimed. Everyone that's played them has loved them, as far as I'm aware. If you haven't loved a Witcher game, please do get in contact with us. But yeah, The Witcher 3, from the screenshots that I've seen and from the stories and certainly the footage, CD Projekt Red certainly look to be making a darn good game.
Absolutely.
It's a good time to be a gamer at the moment.
It is. It's fantastic, which why I get troubled when I see things like this Ground Zeroes thing, because we're fairly well up on the news and everything. But what worries me is that your Joe Blogs out there is essentially getting a bit ripped off because they're not fully aware of what's going on.
Do you think the average Joe Blogs got ripped off by Gran Turismo Prologue then as well before Gran GT? Do you reckon?
Yes.
Because I was on the fence.
I completely do, because again, because of the price point of that as well. I mean, that sort of came out. It's sort of, you see, like you say, the average person that doesn't always look at the stuff, I mean, people, before that, there's been Gran Turismo 2, 3, 4, and then there's 5 prologue. And, the people say, oh, it's only 25 quid, for this new system, I'll pick it up. So, and then they obviously play it through, realise it's a prologue, not really much to it. Oh, all right, when's the game coming out? 3 years.
Yeah,
It took for that game to come out.
That's what I mean. It'd leave a very bitter taste in my mouth. I mean, yeah, sure, information is a lot more freely available, but there is still more people out there that will just walk into a store and buy what they see, rather than sit down in the internet all day and research and look at all the articles and reviews and all the rest of it. I'd still say there's probably more reviewers reading reviews than there is actual Joe Blogs reading them.
You're probably right there.
That's a very, very good point.
I honestly do. There's that many review sites and all the rest of it out there that put out reviews. The only people you see talking about reviews are other reviewers, generally speaking, on Twitter. Yeah, of course, there's people out there that read them, but, my point still stands. There's probably a lot more people out there that will just go into a shop. Oh, what new games are out this week? As it used to be anyway. See a new one, or see an advert on the TV and go, oh, that looks good. I'll go and get that. Yeah. And if you're only getting an hour or two playtime out of it, without understanding what the fuck's going on, you're going to feel a bit sore on that. Well, I certainly would anyway.
I mean, there is some news today that, well, obviously 3 weeks ago, move its editing time, that
Shut up.
People that went out and bought the recent SimCity for the PC had to play it online.
Oh yeah.
And that obviously massive controversy. But today, the offline mode has finally rolled out nearly a year after release.
Yeah.
Hey! Whoop 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 whoop!
I know,
but
right?
that'll probably generate some more sales again then. They'll get some sales out of that now. Because of that.
Oh, definitely. Of course it will.
See, most stuff is done for a business decision now. It's it's like Battlefield 4, for example. Their Naval Strike DLC has just been announced. I think for premium members, it's 25th of March. You'll get the next DLC. Now, not long ago, they said that they weren't going to do any further work on DLC until they had all the issues fixed. Well, that doesn't really seem to be the case anymore, and I think that's just purely a business thing. They need to churn out this stuff and get it done and dusted, so realistically they can move on to the next title and generate some more cash. Everything is just business orientated now, and there's no escaping it. No, absolutely no escaping it. It's sad, but it's just the way it is.
Well, it's an interesting point about how sort of people perceive whether or not they're games and media and, like you say, business and that. Because I know something you wanted to come to, Toby, about Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
And now that's they've had to scale back on so much of that because people were a little bit they've not really released the game that they wanted to release. Certainly in storyline aspects.
How do you mean?
Well, I know I can't remember the exact article personally, but I will try and endeavour to find it. But they basically, I mean, I know obviously Australia have a massive...
Oh, you mean all the censorship and stuff like that in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at first, I was really fucking bitter about that, having some of it removed. But with all respect to the developers, they made the fact that it had to be cut so funny that I really didn't mind. And the content that did get cut was so small, it really didn't have any effect on the game itself.
So, do you think that sort of thing would have affected sales?
If they hadn't have done it the way they did, possibly.
Yeah.
But the fact that they, like, 'cause a lot of games, the content gets cut and that's it. You don't hear of it again. But in this, they used their humour and it fit in with the game very well. It was like you had this big blue screen come up and it was like, sorry Europe, but in this scene, if you didn't live inside of Europe, you would have seen X, Y, and Z taking place. And it was just some really shitty music playing with this with a little blue screen with like the thinking man statue on there. with just some text to read, and you could just skip straight past it. But to read it, even the description itself was funny, and it fit in with it. They were very sarcastic about it, very, poking fun, which they did throughout the entire game. The whole game is poking fun at the gaming industry in general. It's a very, very clever game with a lot more layers to it than people are giving it credit for, to be fair. I could go on about it for quite some time, not just about the cut content, but I'll stick with that. Yeah, I think, to get back to the point, people could have been quite bitter about it, and they probably were to a degree, but they handled it well enough that it won't have affected sales. And because the content was so minimal that they did end up cutting.
Yes. Would you like to know what the censored scenes were?
I know what they are. I've looked them up on YouTube.
Anal probing and abortion.
Yeah. But
apparently it was only about 40 seconds worth of the whole game. That's
it. And it really has no bearing. If anything, it's funnier having it cut, because their description lets your imagination go. And you can only imagine what they're doing. And when I played through it and then went and researched what the scenes were, I was actually a little bit disappointed that they were so tame. Considering some of the other stuff you get up to in the game, it's actually very tame, and I'm surprised that it was cut. And considering Ubisoft just went off their own back and cut it, they weren't told to cut it, which a lot of people don't realise. It was just that was a decision made on behalf of the publisher. They weren't told to cut by any body. I think Australia were, but they cut everything anyway, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
But as far as Europe goes, they weren't under a directive from Peggy or anyone to cut the content at all. That was just a decision done by Ubisoft.
Have you been playing the game?
Yeah, I played through it. I couldn't put it down. Picked it up.
What do you think?
Fantastic. I've never laughed so hard at a game in all my life. It's ridiculously funny. But not just the humour, it's actually a very clever game. The RPG elements of it are very, very well implemented. The visuals, it looks exactly like an episode of South Park. If you're a South Park fan, or you find that kind of humour, if you like that kind of humour, get the game.
So I know one of
so funny.
The major obstacles they had is because they never actually had a map of the town. They just put houses pretty much wherever they wanted, but obviously now they had to put them all in a set place, and that was like creating like half of the South Park universe right there.
Yeah,
they had to recreate the whole town.
It's just been done so well from start to finish. I mean, you're laughing within the first few minutes, but I'll talk about the gameplay first. It's a free roam game, so you walk around doing whatever you want. It's an RPG. You go around. The combat is turn-based, so it's like Final Fantasy games. That works incredibly well. Which I wasn't sold on it at first. When I first got into the game, I was like, this is a little bit boring. But it stops being boring once you unlock new commands and new weapons to use and stuff like that. There's collectibles everywhere that you can sell to get better weapons, better armor, and all the rest of it. It's all, if you've seen the last 3 episodes of season 17, I think it was, the Black Friday bundle thing that they did, the whole console war thing, it's kind of tied into that a little bit, where they're role playing as like humans versus elves and stuff. But you go through the entire thing, and then stuff happens in the town, which it always does, and it's really a laugh. I mean, every little thing, all the collectibles have all got tie-ins to episodes going back to like the very first season. You pretty much meet every main character that you would in an episode. There's loads of side missions. The main quest is fairly long. It's a meaty game. I think I probably got about. I went through it fairly quick because I couldn't put it down, but and I went on the easiest difficulty as well, just to kind of just get my way around it. But there's probably about 16, 17 hours worth of gameplay in there, easy. That's just, and I've not done all the side quests. I've missed a few out, and I know I've missed out a few little bits of the town as well. But it's a really, really good game. I can't recommend it enough. It's very, very funny.
Yeah,
very
I
clever.
was really quite amazed with how they did make it look like an episode.
Yeah.
The way the characters move and everything, the fact that it is all really 2D, but in a sort of 3D environment.
And that really doesn't change. There is not one bit where you look at it and go, that's a bit shit. In fact, there is one bit where it changes, and they did that really cleverly as well. They turn it into a movie or like it. You go to a certain place, and I won't spoil it, but it kind of becomes a bit 8-bit for a while.
Nice.
And you're basically walking around in like a Mario-esque like town. And they've done it very. When I say it, I mean the writing itself. I mean Matt and Trey Parker, they did all the writing for it, and they've done all their voices are original. It's South Park, it's fully licensed. But the writing is very, very clever. There's lots of digs at the gaming industry. There's lots of digs at stuff that happens in the gaming industry and the way games are made and all the rest of it. It's very, very clever. When you kind of read between the lines and look past the humour of it, they're having lots and lots of digs. Like even to the point where like the character you play is a silent protagonist. You don't speak all the way through it. That was a bit of a dig at other RPGs that force you to make choices and stuff. But the comedy works because the characters are talking to you and you just look blankly at them and they're just like, well, fuck you then, kind of thing. Like even it happens all the way through it, and there's loads of other stuff as well that goes on. I can't say too much because it spoils it all, but you kind of see lots of stuff happens and you kind of go, that's clearly a dig at the current state of games or what is currently popular in gaming and all the rest of it. It's very, very cleverly done. And if you haven't got a 360 play on or a PS3, then I'd watch a couple of the walkthroughs at least just to kind of appreciate what's going on. It is really, really funny.
You say it's not on next gen. It is only on the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, and the PC. And all across the board, it seems to be getting good reviews. Metacritic rating of 85, which is not too shabby.
It's not too
So
shabby.
there are some elements. I was like, it kind of ended slightly abruptly. You think it's going to go on a little bit longer than it does. It just kind of gets to a point and then ends. But I don't know whether they'll do like any DLC for it, but it's certainly open enough to be able to implement DLC for it. Absolutely, they could get a lot out of that game. A hell of a lot.
There you go. So as a casual fan, as a casual watcher, is it worth me having a look at it?
Yes.
Yeah, because I watched it the first say one or two series and I kind of got bored of it.
If you can laugh at it,
it's because you grew up.
Yeah, probably.
If you can laugh at any episode of South Park and you don't find it too stupid, you'll find it funny. I mean, the writing's very clever anyway. It's a very funny game. But if you're a really big fan, there's lots of fan service in there. Like I say, with a lot of the collectibles that you pick up that you can sell, a lot of them have got tie-ins to episodes and stuff like that. So I mean, if you've watched it a lot, then you'll think, oh, that's from such and such an episode, and you'll get a lot of the stuff that's in the background in like the kids' bedrooms and stuff like that, and you'll understand those jokes. But if you're not a massive fan, it won't detract from the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just because you don't get that little reference, won't hurt your experience.
Is Mr. Hankey in it?
Yes.
Is Big Gay Al in it?
Yes.
Is Jimbo in it?
Yep.
Fucking hell.
Are they coming back for us?
That would be giving the game away. But yeah, literally every major character that you can think of from the episodes are in there.
Is Kyle's mum a bitch?
Yes.
Is Terrence and Phillip
She's
in
the
it?
biggest bitch in the whole wide world.
You stupid bitch if there ever was a bitch.
She's a bitch who all them other girls.
I like
Terrence and Phillip are in it. They're all in it.
Fucking
Absolutely
hell,
everyone.
That's awesome.
But because all the voices are like the proper voices as well, that really
Satan.
helps. The fact that no.
Oh!
What?
Not that I saw. He may be, but I haven't found him. But I don't think he is.
DLC.
But yeah, that's what the ones that aren't in it, you can see how they could implement them pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of bits where you think that's almost there was a couple of points where I got to it. I was like, there almost looks like there should be something after that, but it never comes to fruition. So whether they've cut it because of time or budget, or they're leaving it open for DLC, I'm not sure.
Is there a sucking chef's chocolate salty balls minigame?
No, there's no mini games as such.
Oh.
But Chef's in there. So they're all in there. There's loads of fan service. Like even when you walk into a store, like they'll have a song on in the background that's from like one of the episodes or something like that. Like Chef's song will be playing in the post office, and there's loads of shit like that all the way through it. Like there's that much fan service in there. It's like I say, every little scene that you go through as you're walking along, everything that you look at is some kind of comedy element in there.
That's really cool.
They could pretty much make the game into a South Park movie.
Nice.
Easily, and it would be just as funny.
Deep.
So,
You heard it here first.
it is very good. Well worth playing or watching. I recommend playing it though, because it's got
Recommendation of the week.
you've got 4 classes to pick from. So I'll play through it again as a different like kind of character on a harder difficulty probably, and it'll change. And there's some choices that you have to make, and obviously that will change how the rest of the game goes on.
Nice.
Nice.
So it's quite deep then.
Yeah, absolutely. It's there's a lot more in it than what it looks like on face value. Definitely. A lot
Probably
more.
check that out then, because it's not my kind of. I like that kind of different, RPG kind of different pathway type thing. So
there's different skills to unlock, different weapons to get. Everything's got its own bonus, and as you're walking around, you can have a different character with you that will fight alongside you. But in the battles, you can switch who that character is. So certain characters will have a skill that you can use against different enemies for like that'll be better against certain enemies and stuff. So yeah, it's very good. There's some dark humour in there as well, but that's typically South Park.
yeah.
You're not going to avoid that, but it's handled in a funny way.
There you go,
So, yeah.
and it's available in the shops right now. And with that, we are going to leave you. Hopefully you enjoyed this week's GD's podcast. Wrapping up, really. There's some rather special Big Brother styled outtakes at the end of this, so stick around for those. Shout outs, gentlemen. I presume you've not. Have you got anything at all that you want to say?
I do just want to give a big shout out to our Danish listener.
Yes. Hello,
hello.
Mr. Danish listener.
Hello, you make great pastries. If you indeed make pastries, or if you know somebody in the pastry business, please let us know either on Twitter at GDS Podcast, or we have an email, media@gamerdads.co.uk, or we're on Facebook /gamerdadsUK. So please get in touch with us, guys, because your feedback and your comments and your ridiculous questions at times make the show more entertaining rather than just listening to us rabble on about our opinions. We want to hear yours as well, so yeah, please do get in touch.
If you got any feedback on this week's or last week's show, let us know. We will read them out and we will discuss them accordingly. We may even invite you to be on the show itself. And another thing, if you are a retro gamer, we have had the gauntlet thrown down to us a couple of months ago, and I've not actually done anything about it yet, but as is my will, I've been in a garden shed hibernating. At ZX Specstar, you know who you are.
I know him.
Oh yes, we met up at the Play Expo. Top bloke, and his mates are all awesome sauce as well. Now, we've had the gauntlet thrown down. They have access to an online version of Doom. We all know Doom, one of the first ever first-person shooters, apart from Wolfenstein and all the rest. We need a champion. We need somebody to step up to the plate and defend the honour of the fair maiden of Gamer Dads. Yeah. So if you think you're a bit handy at first-person shooters, or Doom in general, or anything like that, tweet us at GDS Podcast. or me directly at Moobit, and I'll put it on the GGS podcast for you, whatever. We need a champion to step up to the plate on a date to be confirmed, to coincide with everybody's schedules and things, to play a bit of online Doom, GDs versus the Specstar gang, for just honour and possibly prizes. We'll probably both pick something out of the swag bag. If you're up for that, like I say, Twitter at Moobit and at GDS Podcast. Let us know if you fancy stepping up. You challenge me, but I'm shit at first-person shooters, so I don't want to do it. I'm scared. I think they're going to be quite hardcore, aren't they? I mean, these
I
guys
would have thought so.
Yeah. They're going to be hardcore. In fact, that Blublum was him tweeting us right now. And he's trash talking. Yeah, he is. So yeah, just let us know if you fancy having a bit of a laugh and being a bit handy at. We'll provide all the download links and all that kind of stuff, and we'll be recording it and we'll put it on the YouTube for all to see. Defend our honour. Let us know if you want to play Doom, and we'll get in touch with you, and we'll take it from there. We want to get this done in the next month or so, so please do let us know. But yes, so that Danish guy, hello Danish guy, who was using Firefox last Wednesday. Yes,
You know where you live.
I know where you live. I've got a pin in the map. I see you. I know you're listening. I see you.
Don't worry, it's not accurate. It's only accurate to within what, a few
3
miles or
houses.
something.
Yeah, it's well, no, it's a good couple of miles, but we get the stats, and it's basically we know a day when you've downloaded it, and we know what we can see whether it was on iTunes or on Android, basically. And yeah, we had one guy in Denmark, and we had about 50 odd people in the US. So hello, US front cousins.
Yeah, good day.
Good day indeed.
Hang on, that's Australian.
Yes, holding your
Howdy.
aluminum iPhones and things. Yes. Hi. How's the weather over there? Is it good? Yeah? Awesome sauce. How's that Statue of Liberty's a weeping angel. Watch out, don't blink. So yeah, and all your other guys in the UK, you know we love you, long time. And Toby owes you all $5 each. Yay.
I never did.
You did. Spread the word, because obviously our listenership has gone down a bit because we've been away for a while, but it is building up. Please do spread the word. Tell a friend. Pay it forwards. On this lovely Paddy's Day week, spread the love by telling 2 of your friends about the Gamer Dads podcast and how hilarious we all are, especially Joey's hair. And
Fuck all wrong with my hair.
and my facial hair. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
give that.
your facial hair.
I still can't decide what to do with it. Shout
Shave
outs.
it.
No. Shout outs on the talking about Facebook. Titanfall. We're talking about Titanfall. Graham Williams, you think the game is spectacular, and you also want to know if any Gamer Dads have it on PC. Let him know so we can have some
Yes,
games.
there is actually a few.
There's quite
I
a few,
know
isn't
this
there?
already. If he gets himself onto Twitters and just tweets to @GamerDads, that'll get put out for him. But I know that there is definitely a few of them.
Yeah, there's
are
been
playing.
a few asking around, so I know that there are
Yeah.
some people trying to
There are people-
collaborate.
Yeah, definitely. So if you are on PC and you're looking for players for things like DayZ, especially, I know there's quite a big group playing that at the moment, and Titanfall. Then yeah, get in touch with @GamerDads on Twitter, and we'll hook you up.
Exactly. And that's the thing, you know, if you prefer Facebook, go onto facebook.com/gamerdadsUK, leave a message on there. But Twitter is the sort of instant place to go to get your game nights going on. Nick Old, you are on PC, so you two probably should hook up. I don't know what your game tags are, you've not left them. Pardon?
No kiss.
Now kiss.
No kiss.
Slowly.
Nick and Graham sitting in.
Yes, and the rest. So big shout out to you guys. Big shout out to our sponsors again, Fun.co.uk, use GamerDad at the till. Those guys are really supporting us and tweeting, and we can see when you tweet, guys, because every time you tweet about listening to the podcast, the download stats spike. So keep doing it. We love you. But yeah, if you want to talk about a sponsorship deal or a shout out deal or anything like that, do contact me, either media at gamerdadsUK or moobit directly, moobit at gamerdads.co.uk. Until then, any closing words, gentlemen?
I don't think so.
Mm,
Do I have any closing phrases? No, I really don't.
no, could do something sort of slightly cliched, but nah, I'm tired.
No, you're not bothered?
I would just like
Okay.
to say, actually, I'll say thank you very much for listening.
Yes.
That's all I'll say.
Tell a friend.
It's been emotional. It's been a pleasure, and let's say please get in touch with us, because you
Yes.
know we love to hear from you guys, and you know we want to know what you think of us, and we want to know what you want to see on the podcast, and yeah, we're really trying to boot back through up again. You know, I mean, last week we had 1 million listeners, and next week we want 5. So you know,
Yeah.
that may
it to the
may
stratosphere.
be a lie.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's not. How very dare you.
So
Until then, Joey P, take us out in the style of your missus drowning a cat in the kitchen sink. Go!
can't do that.
Shall I just play the clip?
Just play the outtakes.
Okay, you want to know what Joey's missus sounds like when she's drowning a cat? Stay to the outtakes. Until then, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Ta-ra!
Bye.
This episode of the Gamer Dads podcast is sponsored by funstock.co.uk. Get yourself 10% off everything in store now by using promo code GAMERDAD at the till. The Gamer Dads Network is also proud to be associated with children's accessible gaming charity Special Effect. For more information or to make a donation, please go to specialeffect.org.uk. Outtakes! Gosh.
I like that idea of if we double team Toby while he's in bed, and hi Toby.
Hi!
Hello, you alright?
Yeah, turn your mic up. Can he hear you, Captain?
Fucking up. My phone's up.
We're later.
It's really not. I can't hear you, dude.
Yes. Yes. Don't feed them in the front room. You can wait till later. They eat everything.
Fish up and down, and I can bring it through.
And introducing our 4th chair for the podcast today, Joey's missus.
What?
You're on the
What?
podcast now.
Oh.
No.
Hi.
Doing something.
Huh?
Who's that?
That's maybe. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Sounds quiet as a mouse.
So I got it turned down, so I had the headphones on.
I can't see them.
Who doesn't like it
when I talk like this?
What?
Weirdos.
Yeah, weirdos.
Yeah, you like it. Stop it, Carl.
Stop it now.
Yeah, just stop. It's wrong and you should feel bad.
I feel bad for nothing.
No.
Sounds like it.
Just drink normally.
Like putting in that juice.
Huh?
Alright, is my mic okay?
Yes,
Or is
there you go.
it still whinging?
Yeah.
I've not done anything to it.
Well, maybe it's because you touch yourself at night.
What?
Honestly,
I think it's going to be that kind of night.
it seems that way, yeah. It does seem that way.
I'm sure the 4 listeners enjoy it.
She had a poo.
Okay. You had a
So
poo?
there's an example. Yay!
I reckon we should have a guest podcast with Joey's missus.
Really should.
You're being
So-
mooted in for next week's guest.
What for?
Talk-
That who?
Because
Yeah.
she fucking talks a lot.
She's talking all over it.
You're not recording yet, so no.
Damn, she's aware. She's become aware.
She's flicking it out. I don't know.
Has anybody got any news they particularly want to cover this week?
I'd like to have a little word about Metal Gear Solid at some point.
Cool. I was hoping you would.
That is one big thing.
It's the missus filling the kettle. It is not a wee. Wow. Apparently you can. Yeah. Hang on a second. Yeah, she's using this time to make tea and feed pets. So I'm sorry.
She's not. She's drowning the kitten.
She's not drowning anyone.
She's drowning the kitten. This is water and then a meow.
Apparently you can finish off in 10 minutes.
Oh god. She's drowning. She's drowning kittens.
Clearly not drowning kittens.
There's the baking beans. That
Wow.
was just baking beans going into a tin. She's about to put them in the oven.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing some Watchdog stuff.
Meow.
She's making herself laugh now. That's the worst thing.
Stop drowning kittens.
She's not drowning any kittens. She's feeding the cats, and the cats are really hungry. And they're like, meow.
Kick one.
Okay.
I dare you.
Get me out of it.
That was
Oh
fun.
god. No,
Kick one,
kittens were hard
okay.
in the making of this podcast.
Oh, what's up with the bum? The bum's weird.
There's no way to talk about your wife.
What's up with it? Oh, she needs a poo. My bum doesn't do that when I need a poo.
Oh god.
Huh?
Walk around with a mirror in between your fucking legs all day.
Yes. Who doesn't?
Ooh, I need a poop. Let's have a quick look, see if I'm protruding.
Does it really look like a turtle's head?
No context right there.
Are they recording?
Huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, outtakes. Oh god. This is going all weird.
Yeah, hang on.
Oh,
The brew is being made.
I'm making you one as well.
Oh, why, thank you, dear.
Thank you.
This is so good on the outtakes. The sticklets.
We need a special hashtag.
Enjoy his house.
Stay tuned to the very end for a Petrovic looking domestic.
Oh, apparently I'm not allowed to use her name, so what can we call her?
Gertrude.
She would call what you call her when she's not around.
Got to tread very carefully now.
Yeah, tread carefully. She may see you one day.
She's seen me. She knows where I live.
I don't, but he'll tell me.
I will.
I'm not saying anything.
Gertrude. Call me Gertrude.
Gertrude.
Gertrude, yes. Hello, Gertrude.
Such a oh man. Oh, did anybody watch The Walking Dead the other night?
Yes.
Yes, she did. She hates zombies.
Shitballs.
I haven't actually watched it since like the middle of season 2. I got bored.
Oh, the last episode that was just on was really rough.
Was it really rough?
Was it the one with Tyrese and Carol trying to get...
Yes, that one.
There wasn't an awful lot of zombies, but the kid thing was a bit... Ooh.
Yeah.
Right, you said you were making a cup of tea and then going. You're now doing
I'm not making any noise.
You're making a toasted tea cake. What is it? A hot cross bun?
I'm just putting butter in it. Does that require noise?
It requires you being out of the room.
Fuck off.
I want to record.
Oh god.
The quality.
This is so awkward.
It's like being like the invited dinner guests, and you're just having to sit there and kind of yes, quite. Just make polite conversation while something kicks off in the kitchen.
I kill you!
Like drowning cats and all sorts.
Dong! Jeremy got hit around the head with a frying pan. Dong!
No cats were harmed in the making of this outtake.
Stood on his paw.
Except that brown one, that bastard.
That's one of their bums was being funny.
Well, it was weird. It was weird.
Unexpected prolapse or something.
No, it doesn't go that way.
There you go, there's the title of the podcast. Unexpected cat prolapse.
That's... Oh god, you'd have all sorts of weirdos listening to it, searching for shit like that, wouldn't you? Good. Jesus Christ.
Prolapse.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.